Wah, wah, wah. Ah. Speak to Soma. Screw this guy. Alright, see ya. Okay. Maybe mistakes were made. Maybe. Just maybe. Is that you, God? Attacking that dude with arrows from up above? Where are those arrows coming from? Well. I guess I won't kill these guys this time. I guess they can live. Anyway, we have to go speak to Soma. One of the few horror games that I played on this channel. Halloween 2019. I remember that day. I don't play a whole lot of horror games around here, but Soma was one that I did a full playthrough of. I quite like that game. Of course, I still wasn't really the biggest fan of horror there. I still got spooked pretty easily. So every time that it was like cramped corridors, not entirely sure what to do while a monster was looking around, I'd look it up, lurking around. I would look it up online so I could just like tunnel vision the objective instead of like randomly going around through the monster area.
Soma, what is happening here?
Bandits, taking advantage of the disorder in Sussex to fill their pockets. Odin smiles on us today.
I've burned part of the
all
town
the sniffles.
already. Finish the job with me, and Fulke will get no more weapons from here.
We could charge in while they are distracted.
This bush is being a bit weird.
To use fire arrows.
I don't have those. Use the archer, sure. So we should make you play more horror games is what you were saying. Ah, yes, most certainly.
Archers, take your
Probably
positions.
burned.
Stand ready, Eivor. When they see us, they will charge. We must defend the men.
Okay. Saxons will attack Soma and her men.
This place is heavily guarded.
Well.
The best defense is to attack.
Target houses and supply carts.
Get in their teeth.
Move in, men. Storm the
One
town.
horror game that released recently that had crossed my mind about potentially playing was the new Five Nights at Freddy's game after I had done a full playthrough of Security Breach. Because I'm not really all that into horror, I remember when Security Breach first came out, I asked one of my streamer friendos, Shuck, if he wanted to play it together, and we ended up doing like this weird twofer playthrough, and it was like on her channel and my channel because she was trying to like kickstart a YouTube channel that... I know she does a bunch of stuff with YouTube Shorts. I don't know if there's much that she's doing in the way of uploads. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I just don't follow enough about my friends' YouTube channels. Oh, I probably need to burn this house or something? Is that what you want from me? So I played that with her being like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a whole lot less spooky doing it with a friendo. And then the Security Breach was just like the most not scary horror game ever. Like, it was just so terribly designed. You want to make a horror game, the thing that you should keep in mind the most is what information the player has, in my opinion. I feel like the lack of information and just having the unknown is something that causes spookiness, scariness. But in Security Breach, you're freaking never actually being hunted by the animatronics. Instead, it's just, here's all these security robots that are going around in like the most basic loops ever that you can see really easily, so it's not like any of them are ever gonna like sneak up on you in the sense of like they're hunting you down or anything like that. It's just from time to time they'll clip you because they're moving around so fast in their patrol route. And then once one of them sees you, an animatronic teleports like right next to you, you run away from them, they despawn, rinse and repeat, going around the whole world. You never felt hunted. You never felt like, ooh, there could be an animatronic lurking right around the corner that could get me at any second. It's just the freaking security robots everywhere, and it was just the most boring thing. So, like, we had played through Security Breach together after I was like, ooh, like a real horror thing that might be a bit too much for me, and it's just like freaking Weenie Hut Juniors in there, is what it turned out to be. I've heard that Secret of the Mimic is better, but like, I don't know. I feel like Security Breach just really turned me off from everything FNAF. I've watched a little bit of gameplay of that new game, and it definitely looks better with you having a lot more of an element of the unknown where it's like, oh, any one of these suits could be what the Mimic is lurking in and it might jump out at you, but it still doesn't look amazing, in my opinion, from what I've seen. It definitely looks a whole lot better, and, like, it looks okay-ish, but I don't feel like that's necessarily enough to bring me in pure interest-wise, and I am just so turned off after Security Breach was just the freaking mess that it was. What way was I going? But that was a horror game that came out recently that it did cross my mind. Should I cover that? I did Security Breach and stuff. Should I do this next one here? But my main thought has just been kind of like, meh. So, you know. I tried shooting at the rising sun to get the fire arrows. That's a good point there. Surprised you didn't play Expedition 33. That's a name that I keep on hearing crop up around here. And just like it with gaming stuff in general. But I honestly know, like, nothing about is the case here. Man, modern FNAF is a mess since around FNAF 3-ish. I can agree with that in terms of, like, what direction they went, like, story-wise. At this point, it's like, there's no way you're fitting all these pieces together and making one cohesive thing. If you care about the story, then just follow, like, the general premise, I guess. All you should try to do, because anyone that tries to actually put it together is gonna lose their minds. But if the gameplay is good, then hey, the gameplay is good. But man, the gameplay of Security Breach was just not great. So yeah, in comparison to Security Breach, the gameplay that I've seen of Secret of the Mimic looks like freaking fantastic in comparison, like night and day. But just purely as a game, it's like, okay, well, it looks okay, I guess. Now, kind of a cool gimmick in that any one of these suits around you can come alive. Like, that's kind of cool. That's something a little bit different that I haven't seen all that much of in other horror games, where it's like, which one of these things around you is actually the threat and questioning everything. But from what I've seen, looking at a decent bit of gameplay, the moment one of those suits comes to life, all the other ones around you just suddenly feel, like, super safe. Now you have the information, and now it's like, okay, well, now I just do, like, the same basic sneaking around thing. So, it feels like that game is probably the scariest when you're not actively being hunted, and it's like, ooh, is any one of these gonna wake up at any moment now? But the moment one does, it's like, ooh, maybe there's a little bit of a jump scare, but then it's just the basic kind of sneaking around thingamabob, and you don't have to worry about any of the other suits anymore. But again, compared to Security Breach, looks so much better. But, meh. I don't necessarily need to be shelling out 50 bucks to play some game that I'm just kind of meh on, you know? I don't particularly need to do that. Where am I? I'm going here now. This is where I'm going here. Essentially, Scott Cawthon cares way more about being unpredictable more than having a coherent story. So whenever someone's theory comes too close to his idea for the lore, he'll take a 180 and completely change what the lore is going to be. That sounds like it could well be the case. A really good RPG, that's what I've heard. Didn't the Expedition 33 developers leave Ubisoft to form their own studio? Was that the case there? But yeah, it leads modern FNAF lore to feel so aimless compared to what it used to be and just kind of shit. Yeah, like, the only game that I actually played all the way through was Security Breach. That was it. The only other FNAF game I ever played was a little bit of FNAF 2 shortly after it came out with, like, some friends in school at the time just for the sake of trying it out. Mangle killed me on night 2. I guess I just had, like, the worst RNG ever. Something. But I distinctly remember that happening to me. And that was, like, the only time that I played FNAF outside of that full playthrough of Security Breach that I just didn't really like. I thought Ruin was better, but it still wasn't exactly great. Like, there was initially a decent bit of spookiness of like, ooh, what's going on here when you go into, like, the virtual world and this glitchy thingamabob is coming after you. But then, after a little bit of time, it's kind of like the security robots, where it, too, becomes, like, very predictable and, like, it's not really all that much more in terms of hidden information. Outside of, like, put on the mask, he's not gonna be right next to me, is he? But he never really was. So, yeah. Highly recommend avoiding FNAF and FNAF lore. It's not what it's used to be. It's not just a theory. It's well documented that the lore has changed stuff that used to be true that just isn't anymore. Stuff Scott said what's the truth just isn't anymore. That's what I've heard a little bit of. I've heard some videos saying that, like, there are things that directly contradict one another, so there isn't some clean solution where everything goes together. That just isn't possible. And it's like, well, then, what's the point, man? But yeah, never played or was into FNAF. Fair enough there. Hi, that's me. I have to go this way, apparently. Oh, Basim. Hello. Oh. Well, hi.
Like the agent of chaos. Fulke's men are chasing their tails, not knowing where you will strike.
It looks like I'd be able to turn the camera here, but I couldn't.
Supplies nor the forces to keep us out now.
And you have bought time for your allies to arrive. Many have come, not least the bishop here.
As I promised. As the keeper of God's word, it would be poor form if I did not keep my own.
Now, if the talking is done, there's blood to be spilled.
Eivor, dark news. We found a letter on one of the dead. Fulke has called for aid.
Reinforcements.
A Saxon army marches from Winchester.
Then my men and I will ride to meet them. We will harry them every step of the way to buy you time.
We may begin the assault at once, or you might wish to speak with your allies, if you've not done so already.
Warm words do thaw the chill of battle fear.
How about give me a moment?
Return when you are ready.
This feels like it would be a big climactic battle, considering a whole bunch of preparation leading up to it. We're going after, like, the big bad that has our big bro. And we have, like, a whole bunch of allies that we've gotten from around the world. So is this actually the point where it's like the game would end, but maybe you only get the true ending if you got, like, all the friendships first? That's what this feels like in terms of just other video games I've played. This is just kind of how it feels.
Kirsten, I'm glad to see you again.
So, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Is that what's going on here?
Heart in order. She has even charmed that old shrew, Adrid.
And Ellerich, he has not returned.
Where do things change if I get all the friendos first? Is this what I need all the friendos for?
Picking fights in taverns. We must hope.
Yeah, that is kind of what it felt like there.
Your troubles, but glad for your help.
I have brought for you a ram of unsurpassed craftsmanship.
Where they had it basically wrapped up, but then it's like, hey, all this digging into it and people continuing to talk about it and make content on it makes a whole bunch of traffic towards it. So let's keep that going and be weird and stuff. Hey man, it's all our friends. And I assume there'd be more friends here if I went and did more friendship quests, so
My lady love,
what the heck?
let her name be my flame of hope, for I confess the thought of this battle turns my guts to water.
Okay, so Expedition 33 is supposed to be real good there.
In the eyes, then put an axe between them.
Yes, I remember. Well, I have brought the best archers in Lincolnshire to lend their bows to your cause.
Like, this feels like it'd be this big final battle kind of thing.
Good work, Hunwald. Be ready.
Is this leading up to an ending of the game?
I appreciate your efforts to spare the innocent, Eivor. At least we saved some lives here.
One day, Saxon and Dane.
Assassin's
Knowles and
Creed
Britain will live as brothers and
Valhalla.
sisters, as
Do
they
you
in
need
I only
all
wish
the
I could
alliances
paved with
before
skulls.
Sussex or whatever this was called?
Our only choice is how to face it.
Eivor, forgive me. I have slain too many of my own people already. Cannot kill more. I must return to London.
And you, Erke, do you feel the same?
Someone has to keep an eye on him in the big city. He would only get himself killed otherwise.
We took this camp together, so I will ask no more of you. Return home, and let your friendship be a beacon to our peoples.
It sounds like the battle might just be easier if you have more allies, but you don't necessarily need them all. Let's see here. Doesn't really say here. The Google AI overview, which I never really trust, says no, you do not need to complete all alliances before starting the Sussex arc. The benefit of getting the other alliance first is that the battle is easier, and hold on, let's go to there. And then Control F for that little preview that I was seeing. The battle is easier. Just be clear, the benefit of not getting the other alliances first is the battle is easier, and there's no consequence for not saving him as soon as possible. Okay. Each extra alliance you obtain makes this fight easier and adds an additional dialogue with said allies/allies. Aside from that, there's no difference. So no, there's no consequence for waiting to do this mission. Okay. This game is acting like it's Persona. You're talking to all your social links before you leave, except with none of the build-up, I assume. Yeah, I mean... kind of like we went and did a quest line with each of these guys start to finish, and they've never appeared in the story again until this very moment where they show up when I need them. Instead of being something like a social link in a Persona game where you continue to spend time with them throughout the course of the entire game. Here, it's just like, they each get a plot arc, start to finish, kind of like your allies in Persona, in that case. Or at least Persona 5. Persona 3 didn't have as much of that, and I haven't played 4 yet. But these guys did have, like, an arc start to finish, and foes that you defeated, and trials that you overcame, and stuff like that. But then they just never really come up again until this moment.
I know where to look for my prey.
How about no? I guess I can always save here really quickly first anyway. Here, sure. Save. 46 hours it says. On Steam it says I have over 60. 4 is more like 5, I'd say. Okay. And I'll find out for sure when I play Persona 4 Revival when it's out. Definitely enjoy Persona 4 more than 3. I sure hope so. I didn't like Persona 3.
Your warriors are eager for battle.
If I was a bigger content creator, there's probably a bunch of people that I would piss off by saying that, but I'm a small content creator that nobody knows about, so it's fine. I can say whatever I want.
Let us begin.
Oh, heck yeah. Ooh, the bro clasp. Nah, Persona 4 is definitely more like 3, but way better. Okay, it better be way better.
Eivor, did you enjoy the gift I left you in Canterbury?
You will die today, Fulke. But your men may live if you come here to me and settle this alone.
We have nothing to settle. Die on these walls if you will. It is your choice.
No wall is high enough to keep me from you.
Then come. Claim your brother if you can. I shall wait with him. If you would find us, you need only follow his screams.
Fulke! What will the Skalds say when they speak of this day? They will say we unleashed such rampant slaughter that Odin himself stirred on his throne to watch. They will say that ravens blackened the sky to feast on Saxon dead. So raise your swords with me now, brothers and sisters, for today is the day we carve our names into legend! I'm coming for you, brother.
Well, kind of weird shift at the end there. Time to go save Bro Sigurd! Portchester, or however the heck you pronounce it. So, breach the gate. Mind if I take over here? We don't need to brace, because we have a roof here. But yeah, I was just planning on playing Persona 4 with Revival coming out. This guy in the middle here doing. Okay, he's out. Rather than playing any current versions. Well. Just kind of holding forward. Oh, we have to initiate strikes on these. It's a bit more than just holding forward. I don't think I need to brace. Look, we're good. I can just kind of hold forward and press the attack button from time to time. Oh, there goes that dude. That's fine. You coming in here? You coming into... We're on fire. Ah! Ah! I want to not be on fire. Maybe I'll deal with some of this stuff for now. Because, oh. Oh, it won't let me climb this because of that. What? Really? Really? Well, I guess I'm not going up there at all. Guess that's not happening. Can I scooch in here? Interact. Initiate strike. Like that? Ow. I actually got hit by an arrow there. Am I? Well, that's too bad for Sigurd then. Well. Huh. Huh. Welp.